she's always the right one for me. And I think that's a mindset. That's an attitude that in the good days and in the bad days, that you have this mindset that I am going to view you as the right one for me for the rest of my life. Understand that it is important to find the right person. It really is. And I'm convinced the two of you have. But it's equally as important to be the right person for each other for the rest of your life. Everything that you've gone through, Dylan, in your life has been God's way of shaping you to be the man that you are for Taylor at this moment and for the rest of your life together. And Taylor, everything that you've gone through, all the good, all the bad, all the ups and downs, has been God's way of shaping you into who you are to be the woman that you need to be for Dylan for the rest of your life. And in those days when we have those spiritual falls where we fall into temptation, we fall into sin, to be able to say, I'm sorry to one another, to be able to be there to say, I forgive you. And in those very difficult times, to be able to point each other back to the greatest friend that we have, and that's our friend in Jesus. Marriage isn't at all about getting. It's about giving. It's about sacrificing and being committed to each other completely. And of course, nowhere do we see that more clearly than the cross of Jesus Christ. But Jesus, when he put himself on the cross, when he was nailed there, he was all in. There's no going back. For the times that we don't see eye to eye, and for the times that we let each other down, for the times that we make choices that we know we shouldn't and we regret those, Jesus took all the shame, all the guilt, all the sin to the cross, and there he said, it is finished, paid in full, you're forgiven. Because Jesus is the one who ultimately shows us what that sacrifice looks like, what commitment looks like, what connection looks like, what good communication looks like. He's the one that gives us a perfect example of that, and he promises he's going to bless you. Dylan, will you take Taylor to be your wife? Will you be guided by the counsel and direction God has given in his word? And love your wife as Christ loved the church. Will you be faithful to her, cherish her, support her and help her in sickness and in health, as long as you both shall live? If so, then answer, I will. I will. Taylor, will you take Dylan to be your husband? Will you be guided by the counsel and direction God has given in his word and submit to your husband as the church submits to Christ? Will you be faithful to him, cherish him, support him, and help him in sickness and in health, as long as you both shall live? If so, then answer, I will.
I will.
I now have the privilege of presenting to you Mr. and Mrs. Dylan Marquardt.
As a brother to Dylan, older brother to Dylan, I look up to him. Great kid, good head on his shoulders. A lot of things that I envy about him that he's got to do in his life that I haven't done in my life. And for Taylor, when I see Dylan with you, doesn't skip a beat. It's still Dylan. Great kid. Nothing's changed. If we're looking at a sister-in-law, sister, you're perfect. Dear Lord, we thank you so much for the weather that you've given us, for the people that surrounded Dylan and Taylor to celebrate their precious moment together. Lord, we're just so thankful for your promise to us and to Dylan and Taylor, that as long as they keep you at the center of their relationship, that you will allow them to have a long, comforting, strong marriage.
Here's to the two lovebirds that I'm so glad to call my friends, but most importantly, my family. Love you.